We shouldn't be doing this. I'm your daughter's teacher.
It doesn't matter.
The parent-teacher conference room smells like crayons and disinfectant. Kang Ji-hoon sits in a chair designed for children, his 6-foot frame folded uncomfortably, his Rolex catching the fluorescent light. He's surrounded by finger paintings and alphabet posters, completely out of his element. The billionaire CEO who commands boardrooms with a single glance now waits like a scolded schoolboy. The door opens. "Mr. Kang, I'm so sorry I'm late." Lee Minna rushes in, her arms full of folders, a coffee stain on her cream cardigan, her hair escaping its ponytail in wild tendrils. She dumps everything on the desk with zero grace, then looks up at him with eyes that are simultaneously apologetic and defiant. "Traffic was absolutely insane and then I had to break up a playground fight and..." She stops, really seeing him for the first time. Their eyes lock. Ji-hoon feels something shift in his chest, dangerous and unexpected. This woman, this beautiful, chaotic, completely unprepared woman, has no idea who she's talking to. She's not intimidated. She's not calculating. She's just real. "It's fine," he says, his voice deeper than he intends. "I appreciate you making time." Minna blinks, then straightens her shoulders, suddenly all business. "Right. So, your daughter." She flips open a folder covered in doodles. "So he is brilliant. Truly brilliant. But Mr. Kang, she's also one of the loneliest children I've ever taught." The words hit like a physical blow. Ji-hoon's jaw clenches. "Excuse me." She sits alone at lunch. Minna continues, completely fearless. She doesn't talk during group activities. When other kids play, she watches from the corner. "Mr. Kang, your daughter is 7 years old and she's already mastered the art of being invisible." Ji-hoon's hands tighten on the armrests of the ridiculous tiny chair. "Are you suggesting I'm failing as a father?" "I'm not suggesting anything," Minna shoots back, her dark eyes flashing. "I'm telling you that your child is hurting. And I want to help her. But I need you to actually be present." The nerve of this woman. Ji-hoon could destroy her career with a phone call. He could have her fired before she leaves this building. He's silenced bigger threats with less effort. But something about her fierce protectiveness of So-hee, her complete disregard for his power, makes him curious. "What do you propose?" he asks, his tone measured. Minna leans forward, passionate, alive. "I want to start an after-school art program. 2 days a week. Small group, safe environment. So he loves to draw, did you know that? She draws these incredible scenes of places that don't exist. Fantasy castles and flying ships and forests made of stars. She has so much inside her, Mr. Kang. She just needs someone to help her let it out." Ji-hoon watches her gesticulate wildly, knocking over a cup of markers in her enthusiasm. She's a mess. She's probably never worn designer clothes in her life. She has paint under her fingernails and her coffee-stained cardigan is from some department store brand he's never heard of. She's the most captivating woman he's seen in years. "I'll fund the program," he says. "Whatever you need." Minna's face transforms with joy, and Ji-hoon feels that dangerous shift in his chest again. "Really? Oh, Mr. Kang, thank you. So he's going to be so excited. And I promise I'll..." "On one condition," he interrupts. Her smile falters slightly. "What condition?" "I want weekly updates. In person. About her progress." Minna studies him with those impossibly direct eyes, and Ji-hoon has the unsettling feeling she sees right through his excuse. But she nods. "Deal. Every Friday, 4 p.m. Don't be late, Mr. Kang." No one talks to him like that. No one. He finds himself almost smiling. "I wouldn't dream of it, Miss Lee." That night, Ji-hoon's right-hand man, Park Tae-sung, sits across from him in his private office, concern etched on his scarred face. "Boss, we have a situation. Kim's crew is moving product through our territory again. They're testing boundaries. Ji-hoon should care about this. Territory disputes have started wars in Seoul's underground." But his mind keeps drifting to a paint-stained cardigan and fierce, protective eyes. "Handle it," he says dismissively. Tae-sung blinks. "Handle it? Boss, last time someone challenged us, you personally..." "I said handle it," Ji-hoon snaps, then immediately regrets his tone. He runs a hand through his hair. "I trust your judgment. Make an example but keep it clean. No attention." Tae-sung stares at him like he's grown a second head. "In 15 years of loyalty, Ji-hoon has never delegated something this important. Are you okay? I'm fine. Because you seem distracted. Ji-hoon's phone buzzes. A message from So-hee's school. Miss Lee started the art program. So-hee painted a butterfly today. School admin. Attached is a photo of his daughter, covered in paint, grinning at the camera. And in the background, Min-ah is laughing, equally paint-covered, helping another child. This dark romance, this billionaire obsession, is already taking root, and Ji-hoon doesn't know how to stop it. Doesn't know if he wants to. I'm fine, he repeats, but it's a lie. Friday arrives. Ji-hoon shows up at exactly 4 p.m., impeccably dressed in a charcoal suit that costs more than Min-ah probably makes in 3 months. She's in her classroom cleaning paint off desks, her hair in that messy bun again, humming something off-key. Mr. Kang. She jumps, startled. You're early. Am I late? What time is? It's exactly 4, he says, and finds himself amused by her flustered state. Right. So. She grabs a folder, this one covered in glitter and stickers. So he had an amazing week. She's opening up to the other kids. She laughed during story time. She even raised her hand to answer a question. That might not sound like much, but for her it's huge progress. Ji-hoon listens to every word, but he's also watching the way Min-ah's face lights up when she talks about his daughter, the way she gestures with her whole body, the way she bites her lower lip when she's thinking. She made you something, Min-ah continues, pulling out a painting. She wanted me to give it to you. It's a portrait of him. Crude, childish, but unmistakably him in his suit. Next to him is a smaller figure, and next to her, holding her other hand, is a woman with a messy bun and a bright smile. She painted you, Ji-hoon says quietly. Min-ah blushes, flustered in a way that makes her even more beautiful. I told her she should paint her family. She said I am family now. Mr. Kang, I hope that's okay. I didn't mean to overstep. It's perfect, he interrupts, his voice rough with emotion. You've given her something I couldn't. Hope. The forbidden love crackling between them is palpable now. Min-ah must feel it too because she takes a small step back, professional distance reasserting itself. Well, same time next week, she asks, her voice slightly breathless. Yes, Ji-hoon says, then adds, join me for coffee. To discuss So-hee's progress. There's a cafe across the street. It's not a question. But the way Min-ah's eyes widen suggests she knows it's not really about So-hee either. Mr. Kang, I don't think. Please, he says, and that single word costs him. Kang Ji-hoon doesn't beg. Doesn't ask. But for this stubborn, charismatic woman, he finds himself willing to do both. One coffee. Professional. I want to understand how to support my daughter better. Min-ah chews her lip, clearly debating. Then, against what's probably her better judgment, she nods. One coffee. But you're buying Mr. Billionaire So. There's that defiance again, that refusal to be intimidated. Ji-hoon finds himself genuinely smiling for the first time in months. Deal, Miss Lee. The cafe is quiet, upscale but not ostentatious. They sit by the window, Seoul's evening lights beginning to glow. Min-ah orders a simple Americano. Ji-hoon orders the same, though he usually prefers whiskey. So, Min-ah says, wrapping her hands around her cup. Tell me about So-hee's mother. The question is so direct, so unexpectedly personal that Ji-hoon almost laughs. You don't waste time. I work with children, Mr. Kang. I've learned that dancing around painful topics doesn't help anyone. So he mentioned her mother once. Just once. Then never again. That kind of silence speaks volumes. Ji-hoon stares into his coffee, weighing how much to reveal. Her mother left when So-hee was 5. Decided she wanted a different life. One that didn't include the complications of being married to me. Complications. My business isn't always conventional, he says carefully. My ex-wife wanted simplicity, normalcy, things I couldn't give her. Min-ah absorbs this. And so he blames herself. Yes. The word comes out heavier than he intends. She thinks she wasn't enough to make her mother stay. No matter what I tell her. Children always think it's their fault, Min-ah says softly. It's how their minds work. They're the center of their own universe, so every bad thing must somehow be because of them. She looks at him with those penetrating eyes. What about you, Mr. Kang? Do you blame yourself? No one has asked him that. Not his therapist. Not his associates. No one. Every day, he admits. I should have been different. Better. Someone she could love. Minna reaches across the table, her hand covering his. It's an innocent gesture, teacher comforting parent, but electricity shoots through Ji-hoon's entire body. You are enough, she says firmly. And so he will realize that. With time, with support, with love. You're doing everything right by being present now. Their eyes lock and suddenly the cafe feels too small, too intimate. Ji-hoon turns his hand over, his fingers threading through hers. Minna's breath catches but she doesn't pull away. You're extraordinary, he says, his voice low. Do you know that? Mr. Kang. Ji-hoon. Please. Ji-hoon, she says, his name sounding like music. We can't. I'm your daughter's teacher. There are boundaries. Boundaries, he repeats, his thumb stroking her palm. I've spent my entire life respecting boundaries, following rules, maintaining control. But you, Minna, make me want to break every single one. Minna pulls her hand back, but the loss of contact feels physical. You don't know me, she says, but there's trembling in her voice. You don't know anything about me. Then tell me. Ji-hoon leans forward, intense. Tell me everything. I want to know why you became a teacher. Why you have paint under your nails. Why you look at my daughter like she's your own. Why you're not afraid of me when everyone else is. Everyone's afraid of you? Minna raises an eyebrow. Should I be? Most people are, yes. Why? The question hangs between them. Ji-hoon could lie. Should lie. But something about this woman demands honesty. Because I'm not just a CEO, Minna. I'm also the man who controls half of Seoul's underground real estate. The man who decides which developments get built and which get buried. The man who has enough power to destroy lives with a phone call. He watches her face, waiting for fear, disgust, rejection. Instead, Minna leans back, studying him like he's one of her students presenting a difficult problem. You're telling me you're dangerous. Yes. And you think that should scare me? It should terrify you. Minna takes a long sip of her coffee, considering. Then she sets it down with deliberate care. Ji-hoon, I grew up in Dongdaemun. My father was a gambling addict who owed money to people who didn't accept, "I'll pay you next week," as an answer. I've been threatened by loan sharks since I was 13. I put myself through university working 3 jobs while taking care of my younger sister. I've survived in a world that told me I wasn't enough, wasn't smart enough, wasn't pretty enough, wasn't worth anyone's time. She leans forward now, her eyes blazing with that beautiful defiance. So no, Mr. Billionaire Mafia boss, you don't scare me. I've been scared before. Real scared. Hungry and hiding from collectors, scared. This. She gestures between them. This is just a powerful man who's interested in me. And I'm a grown woman who can make her own choices. Ji-hoon feels something crack open in his chest. This woman. This beautiful, crazy, stubborn, charismatic woman. You are remarkable, he breathes. I'm practical, she corrects. And what I'm practically telling you is that if you want to pursue whatever this is, you need to be honest. With me. With yourself. So-hee. Because that little girl has already been abandoned once. She doesn't need to lose someone else she's starting to love. The weight of that truth settles over them. I would never hurt her, Ji-hoon says fiercely. Or you. Intentions don't matter if the outcome is the same, Minna replies. Your world is dangerous. You said it yourself. What happens when your enemies find out you care about me? What happens when I become a liability? Will you protect me or will you push me away to keep me safe? She's asking the questions he's been avoiding all week. I don't know, he admits. I've never felt like this before. I've never wanted to risk everything for someone. But Minna, I look at you and I forget how to be careful. I forget every rule I've ever made to keep people at a distance. Minna opens her mouth to respond, but her phone buzzes. She glances at it and her face goes white. What's wrong? Ji-hoon asks immediately, his protective instincts flaring. My sister, Minna says, her hands shaking as she texts back. She's at the hospital. Someone attacked her near campus. Ji-hoon is already standing, pulling out his phone. Which hospital? Severance. But Ji-hoon, you don't have to. I'm coming with you, he says, his tone brooking no argument. He's already texting his driver, his security team. Is she okay? Did she say what happened? Minna's eyes fill with tears. She said 3 men. They kept asking about me. About who I know. About. She looks up at Ji-hoon, realization dawning with horror. They asked about you. The billionaire obsession has consequences. The dark romance has drawn blood. And suddenly, this forbidden love isn't just about stolen glances and coffee dates. It's about survival. Ji-hoon's expression turns cold, lethal. This is the Mafia boss, the dangerous man who built an empire on fear. Get your things. My car is downstairs. I'm taking you to your sister and then I'm going to find out who did this. Ji-hoon. He cups her face, gentle despite the violence in his eyes. I told you I would never hurt you or those you love. I meant it. Whoever did this just declared war. And they have no idea who they're dealing with. As they rush out of the cafe, Ji-hoon makes 3 calls. The first to his security chief. The second to his hospital contacts to ensure Min-ah's sister gets the best care. The third to someone whose number he hasn't dialed in years. A man who specializes in making problems disappear permanently. This is the price of loving Kang Ji-hoon. This is the reality Min-ah is stepping into. And as they speed through Seoul's glittering streets toward the hospital, both of them know that their lives have just changed irreversibly. The question isn't whether they can survive this dark romance. The question is whether anyone else will. Closing hook 10 o'clock. At the hospital, Min-ah's sister Ji-won is bruised but alive. As Min-ah holds her sister's hand, Ji-hoon steps into the hallway, his phone pressed to his ear. Find them, he says, his voice deadly calm. Every single person involved. I want names, addresses and whoever sent them. And Tae-sung. Yes, boss. Make sure they understand that Lee Min-ah is under my protection now. Anyone who touches her or her family answers to me. He ends the call and looks through the hospital room window at Min-ah, who's crying while comforting her sister. She looked up at that moment, their eyes meeting through the glass. She doesn't look afraid. She looks determined. And Kang Ji-hoon realizes he's just fallen completely, irrevocably in love with the most dangerous woman he's ever met. Dangerous because she makes him want to be better, softer, human. Can a mafia boss learn to love without destroying everything he touches? Find out in part 2. Who do you think sent those men after Min-ah's sister? Drop your theories in the comments and don't forget to subscribe, because part 2 is going to change everything.